Hello, welcome back to my channel Christian Faith and Fiction. My name's Lou and today I'm going to be doing the Quintessential Summer Book Tag. Right, I'm going to take these off now because I literally can't see anything in this. It seemed like an appropriate book tag to be doing this week because it is supposed to be the hottest weekend possibly on record in Britain. I'm not sure if it's going to get that hot where I am, but it seemed appropriate to do a quintessential summer book tag. I first saw this this tag on Lindsay's channel, Lindsay from Books for Christian Girls, so BFCG, I think that's how it goes. Yeah, and if I can find the original person who created the tag, I'll leave it down linked in the description along with Lindsay's video. This tag has different prompts for which you can choose some books to fit in with those prompts. So if you want to play along with me, please do leave your responses down in the comments below. So the first prompt is iced drink, pick a refreshing book. I struggle to think of what they mean by refreshing book. I think that can mean lots of different things, but I went ahead and picked The Ice Swan by Ciesielski. This is historical fiction, starts off in Paris, ends up going into Scotland, and I just picked it because of the iced reference. The main character is very kind of icy in her how she starts off. She's very independent, she wants to kind of do everything for herself, and she has to kind of learn to trust other people and trust other people with her heart as well. Prompt number 2 is cotton candy, which I think is like candy floss for us. A book that was fluffy and sweet. And for this one I picked Once Upon a Summer, which is four contemporary Christian romance stories, I guess novellas, by Andrea, Toni, Shiloh, Teresa, Tysinger and Jaycee Weaver. And this is contemporary Christian romance. It's also they're all fairy tale retellings as well, and they're sort of summary romances, and I read it last year in the summer and thought it was fantastic. I give it 10 out of 10. Really sweet, fun romances to read, and yeah, they were really good short romances for the summer. Prompt 3, sunglasses, pick a dark book. I think the darkest book that I have read, certainly in Christian fiction, would be Haunting at the Bonfire Circus by Jamie Jo Wright, which is a mystery, dual time period mystery centered around, in the historical story, centered around a circus, and some of the circus players and people connect to the circus, and then there's a mystery going on in the present day as well, connecting back into that story. So I enjoyed that book. It was pretty dark for me. These days I don't like to read anything too gruesome or too scary in that sense, too gory. Prompt number 4 is picnic on a rainy day, pick a sad book. The book that made me sad or made me cry the most recently was The Tea Chest by Heidi Chiavaroli, which again is a dual time period novel, and the characters have to go through some really harrowing things during that time, and I found it emotional and parts of it sad, although it's also really uplifting, talking about how God helps us through difficult times and difficult seasons and some very dark things, how we still have hope even in the midst of that. Prompt number 5 is Sand, a book that irritated you. I chose Appointment with Death by Agatha Christie for this one. I think that was one of my least favourite of her murder mystery stories. Just wasn't as satisfying as other ones that I've read, and that was an irritation to me, because you want, by the time you get to the end of a mystery, to be really satisfied by the ending. Whether you've guessed it or you've not, you want it to be satisfying, and that one just wasn't for me. Prop number 6 is a summer blockbuster, a favourite book to screen adaptation. And as they said screen, I'm guessing I can choose TV as well as film. So I am going to choose Pride and Prejudice, and I'm not going to choose the film version. I'm going to choose the 1990s BBC adaptation with Colin Firth, because this just has such good memories for me. I remember when it first coming out and I was a teenager, and everybody was talking about it, and it was such a cult thing that, you know, has such a following, and just loved that series so much. And yeah, definitely one to binge watch in the summer if you're looking for something to watch. Prompt number 7 is dropped ice cream. Pick a book you were anticipating but it wasn't good. I was really looking forward to reading the Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis earlier this year, and I just love the Chronicles of Narnia, and I love that kind of world that C.S. Lewis created, so I was really anticipating reading those ones, and I just didn't get on with it at all. The style is totally different from the Chronicles of Narnia. There's some very wordy dialogue that becomes kind of abstract philosophical things going on, and the style of it just bored me, and I found it really hard to get through, and I was so gutted about that because I wanted it to be another favourite, and it was just not good. I couldn't finish the second book. Prompt number 8 is Palm Tree, a tall book you loved. I don't know if that was supposed to be like metaphorical or something, but literally the tallest book that I could find, I think, is the Epic Bible that I've got. It is a graphic novel version of the Bible and has lots of Bible stories in graphic novel form, which I haven't finished reading through yet. But it's quite interesting, and I found that one quite interesting to read through. It's like it's DC and Marvel comic artists that have illustrated it, so if you like that style of things, you might like that. Number 9 is Bonfire, a book you want to burn. A little dramatic. The book that I could think of was Endless Night by Agatha Christie. This, I can't tell you anything about it or why, but it is a book that really creeps me out, and it stays in my memory, and if I could burn the memory of it out of my head, I'd quite like to do that. It did creep me out quite a lot when I finished it. Maybe not so much when I was reading it, but by the time I finished it, it was, that was not really scary, but yeah, I could take that book out of my head. And finally, number 10, Fireworks, a book that exploded onto the scene. And I've chosen Search for a Prince by Toni, Shiloh. I know a lot of us read it earlier in the year, and I've read something about her books before now, but I felt like this is her first traditionally published book, I think, and it made quite a big splash, and lots of people were talking about it. It has really good faith content. It's a contemporary Christian romance where a girl who is American finds out that she's actually the heir to a African throne, and so she has to travel out there and meet her family and decide if she wants to become the next princess. So if you were playing along with me, go ahead, put your answers down in the comments below. I'd be really interested to see what different people have picked. So I hope you're having a really great week, and if it's summer for you, I hope you're finding somewhere nice and cool to read your next book. Please do give this a like and subscribe if you haven't done already, and until next time, God bless.